Students, till last lecture we all had already discussed about the reproductive system. Now today onwards we all will be discussing about the nervous system of the sapia. Now see, we had already discussed that sapia are the animal, they belongs to the class mollusca. Now mollusca phylum is related to the higher invertebrates. We have already learned in detail about the lower and higher invertebrates. So when we say the higher invertebrates, so for first major differentiation between the lower and higher, we have been observed that their systems will not very rudimentary kind. Their system will be highly developed, not like the vertebrates, but their system will be appropriately developed, and they will be showing the better evolution. So when we observe the sepia, even in mollusca phylum also, you will find that their nervous system is quite developed type. So when you will observe nervous system, like they will not be having the brain and all, but instead they will be having the nerve ganglia. Student ganglia meaning, I had already told you earlier when we were discussing about the kingdom animalia. What are the ganglias? This is the junction of the neuron. So each ganglia, it is acting as a connecting center, and it is responsible, or you can say it is a part like brain, but not the like central nervous system. So many nerves, they are connecting together and they are forming a mass, and this particular mass is a major control over that particular nerves. So here in the case of the sapia, you will be observing such type of ganglions. So major, middle, extreme condensation of the ganglion you will observe. So you will find that all overall the nerves, they will be forming many aggregation, and this particular as the most active part of the animal is the head. So all of this nerve ganglion, they will be aggregating to the head region around the esophagus, and they will as now this is the major part, and it is nearby like the brain of the animal and controlling its body. So definitely it requires a proper protection. So you will observe that a cartilaginous cranium is present in lower invertebrates. Also we had discussed about the ganglion, but never we have seen that their ganglion is prevented with the cranium. But here in this particular case, you will observe a proper cartilaginous cranium. It is covering the ganglion and it is protecting it. The nervous system consists of ganglia. They will be having the connectives, connect and the commissures. Cerebral, superior buccal, inferior buccal, then pleurovisceral and pedal ganglias are there. So all these ganglias, they are connected with each other, and they are paired and the fuse like. All these ganglions, they all are fused near the you will observe the esophagus area. Anteriorly, all these ganglion, they are covered by the tough fibrous membrane, pair of very thick band like nerves around the esophagus. They are connected to the cerebral ganglia. Now see, from the cerebral ganglia, there will be, here you can see from the cerebral ganglia, you will observe that the here this is the cerebral ganglions, and from the cerebral ganglion, here there will be pleurovisceral ganglion. Pleurovisceral, that means they are connected. See, these are the nerves only. These are connected into the viscera. That means the stomach, or you can say the abdomen region. So all these are the ganglions. These are connecting. and this is the suprabuccal ganglion. This is the cerebral ganglion, pleurovisceral ganglion. These are the pili veins. Stellate. This will be giving stellate ganglion. This will be controlling the abdominal region. Here, these are the branchial ganglion, they will be controlling the bronchial heart as well as the tinadia. And here this is the brachial nerve, so this will be uh, connecting over, this will be going or innervating inside your arms. So like this optic ganglions are there, many type of the ganglion you all will be observing. Then you will be observing the optic nerve, visceral nerves. So these nerves, they are connecting to the ganglion. So all these ganglion, we all have observed that all these are coming out from the cerebral ganglion, and optic nerves will go to the eye, statosis nerve will go to the statosis region, and cerebro superior buccal connectives. Now, when we talk about the important ganglia, one by one we will be discussing the important ganglia and where it is giving nerves. First, we will be talking about the superior buccal ganglion. Uh, just a minute, let me take the diagram here. I forgot to add diagram here. Okay. Now, when we talk about the superior buccal ganglion, that means we are connected with this particular region. This is our superior buccal ganglion. This is a very small united ganglion, and which is present dorsal to the esophagus. That means esophagus will be running and above it, it will be lying. So these are connected. Now where it is connected, now see, this is your superior buccal ganglion. So you will observe that this is connected with the cerebroesophageal ganglia, then inferior buccal ganglia. This is a pair of small united ganglia dorsal to the esophagus and posterior to posterior to superior ganglia. That means what is the posterior end? That means the downside of the superior ganglia it is present, and these are joined with the connectives. This is the most important role, connective or commissioner, you can say. These are responsible for joining one ganglia to the another ganglia. There is a loop of sympathetic nerves which are arising from the ganglia, which runs along the esophagus. Now, remember the function of each ganglia. The buccal ganglia, buccal ganglia, it is related to the digestion. Okay, and here, especially this inferior gang, buccal ganglia, inferior. So definitely it will be going to the inferior region, superior that will be going to the superior region. This way, if you will remember, so that will become very easy for to remember. Superior, that will be giving off the or you can say controlling the head region. Okay, because animal is having the suckers mouth parts into the head region, and inferior buccal ganglia, it is going to connect it, or it will be having the sympathetic nerves which will be helping and functioning to the stomach and gastric region. So we have seen there were the gastric ganglion also. Then it this pleurovisceral ganglia, I had already explained you that it will be innervating into the mantle cavity, and this is the visceral ganglia. That means it is going to cover the abdominal part. So there are two visceral nerves. Each sends branches to the visceral organ and continue as the branchial nerves. This will be bearing a branchial ganglion at the base of the gills, and again here diagram is required. Actually diagram is same but it is required. Okay, let's study. Now when we talk about the pleurovisceral ganglion, so this pleurovisceral ganglion, this, see here in the diagram. Now see buccal ganglions over. First we had discussed about this superior buccal ganglion. Okay. So we have seen that this is controlling the upper region. Then thereafter we have discussed about the inferior. Now we will be talking about the pleurovisceral ganglion. So see ये नीचे वाला region है. This one, this one, not above. That is the cerebral ganglion. So you can see with the diagram only that it is present beneath the cerebral ganglion. First thing we can observe from the diagram. Then what else we can observe from here? That we can see from here this branch is coming, right? This branch is also coming from here. So we can see it is giving off the visceral nerves, right? Each will send branches to the visceral organ and continue as the branchial nerves. See, visceral, as such, branchial के लिए there is no such branchial ganglion. It is there, but it is at the downside. But from to the main cerebral commissure part or the main cranium region, there is no such branchial ganglion. It is the extension of the pleural ganglion only, we can say. So these visceral nerves, they will be sending branches to the visceral organ, and from there only it is dividing and it is giving off the branchial nerves, and this will be bearing a branchial ganglion also. So this is only the branchial ganglion, a small branchial ganglion at the base of the gills, and that will be run in. We have already seen the gill structure tinidium, so at that side, at the basic basal region of that gills or tinidium, where we all have seen the bronchial heart is present, that particular position you will be observing the bronchial ganglion is present, and it will present at the extreme. Now thereafter you will be observed that there are two stout pilial nerves. See, these nerves, pilial nerves. Each runs through the neck, inner surface of the mental cavity, and there will be forming a flat pilial or stellate ganglion in front of the gills. These are the stellate ganglions. Nerves emanating from the stellate ganglion that will be innervating in different part of the mantle, and they will be controlling the activity of the mantle. Now we all have seen that the mantle is having the free like fin, and these fins are responsible for the undulating movement of the body of the animal. So this all are controlled with the help of this nerve only. Now visceral ganglion is the below and inferior ganglion lateral side. Here is the visceral ganglion. So these visceral ganglion and pleurals, all this will be fuses and form a pleurovisceral ganglion. This here what we observe the pleurovisceral ganglion. So pleural ganglion and the visceral ganglion, they both are just combining. That's why it is giving off the pleurovisceral ganglion. That's why we all have seen. Student, my voice is clear. Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
So this there are two pleural ganglion and is this visceral ganglion. Both are uniting. That's why it is called as the pleurovisceral ganglion. See, this is the diagram. Actually, instead of that, I have just shared the diagram here. This diagram is just showing the pleurovisceral mass. Now next are the pedal ganglions. So these are the fused type of the ganglion, pedal ganglion. Yellow part, whatever you are observing, is the pedal ganglion. It is fused and located below the esophagus. Now see, pedal ganglion name itself is suggesting that it is responsible for taking care of the pedals, that is the arms. So, how many arms does the animal have? 10 arms. So, definitely it will be sending the 10 brachial nerves to the arms, and these brachial nerves are connected by the ring commissure. See the term commissure and connectives. Note down commissures, the when they are connecting the main nail. Like here, you will observe a ring-like structure is there. Okay, this कहाँ चला गया मेरा point? Yes, such type, when there is such type of the connection which are connecting the main nerves, so this will be called as the commissures. And now here suppose the optic ganglion that is connected with the cerebral ganglion. So the this type of connecting, you can say connections or nerves, modified nerves, they will be called as, what are these commissures and connectives? These are the modified nerves only. So these are called as the commissures and these are called as the connectives, which are connecting one ganglion to the another ganglion. Now see here, pallial ganglion you have seen, it is connecting with the branchial ganglion. So that connection will be called as the connectives, because here we are observing the two connectives. So there, a pair of nerves will be also is coming from this your pedal ganglion only, that will be controlling the funnel. Now see, we have seen the role of funnel also in the locomotion. So this is all about the nervous system. Now we will be discussing about the sense organ. Sense organs are also very well modified, student. When you will observe the animal in water, we had already discussed the important feature of this species, that they have a very good sense of surrounding and they bear the properties of the camouflage. So they are having very good senses. First we will be talking about the eyes of the animal. Eyes are very large and protruding outside. They are present dorsolaterally lodged on some sort of orbit made up of the curved plate of the cartilage, and these are connected with the cranial cartilage. Means when you will observe their eyes, so you will observe that a cartilage, proper cartilage portion is coming out, and this cartilage is extended and it is connected with the cranium. And if you will observe their eyes, they have the proper compound eyes like the mammals only, and very good resemblance with the eyes of the mammal they show. Now when we see the anatomy of the eyes, so they have the false cornea, a transparent portion of the integument that is covering the part of the eye, so that is called as the false cornea. Then sclerotic, it is the strengthened by the plate of cartilage, and then after you will be observing, see here sclerotic, this is there, and it is prevented by the plate of cartilage, and they form a firm wall of the eye wall. Here this portion. Then you will observe they where a large pupil is present, and this pupil is a large opening of the sclerotic on the outer side towards the head. From the head, if you will see the outer side, there you will be observing a proper opening of the pupil can be observed, and thereafter see these are the sclerotic cartilage which are preventing the eye, and this you will be observing opening outside, and it is positioned by a ring like ciliary processes which are projecting inward from the sclerotic. So inside, these are the sclerotic region, and it is opening inside this pupil. Then you will be observing iris is there, it is the part of the sclerotic surrounding the pupil. Then they have the muscle fiber in the iris, and they can regulate the diameter of the pupil to a limited extent. Now see, this is the iris portion. Inside the large pupil you can observe, this is the pupil portion, and this is the iris. So the iris is nothing but the muscular mass, and they can control the diameter of the pupil, and they can limit the extent like vertebrates can do. This is a very striking feature of the animal. Then you will observe the cornea, a thin layer of cells between two part of the lens. Then ciliary processes have, here they also bear the rod cells. Then ciliary process and annular process projecting inward from the sclerotic supporting the lens. Here we have already seen the ciliary processes. See, these are the ciliary processes. They are supporting the lens. This is the lens region. This is the iris, and inside it you will observe here at the end pupil will be there. This region is, and then above that they will be having the false cornea. Now, lens is a glass spherical body just internal to the iris, and they are projecting slightly through the pupil. It consists of plano-concave lens in close opposition, and the ciliary processes lens divided the cavity of eyeball into two unequal parts. Smaller interior chamber. Now see, this anterior chamber will be filled with a watery aqueous humor, and a large posterior chamber which will be occupied by a jelly-like humor. There is no choroid type thing will be observed in this case. Now structure of retina, light sensitive layer. The wall of the posterior chamber, it composed of two layers. Inner layer consists of closed set of parallel rod, and it is in contact with the vitreous humor. Outer layer, retinal cells, it is in communication with the rod internally, and optic nerve fiber externally. Optic nerve, when you will observe, it expands into the optic ganglion just behind the eyeball. Eyeball. Now, see, we have already seen into the nervous system various ganglions are there. So, in that optic ganglion and olfactory ganglion are not discussed, means it is not there in your syllabus part there, but it is also present. Optic ganglion, it is present behind the eyeball, and thereafter you will be observing the olfactory ganglion also nearby. So this optic ganglion which is present behind the eyeball, it will be giving off the optic nerve, and from that optic nerve, a large soft body of unknown function lies near the optic ganglion. This is called as the optic gland or the white body. So the eyeball can be slightly moved, not like the vertebrate completely. In few vertebrate, the eyeball can move very well. A fold of skin can be drawn like eyelid over the false cornea up to some extent. You can say the eyelash. Then next is the statocyst, organ of equilibrium. Now usually statocysts are the hearing organ, but here the role of the statocyst is the maintenance of the equilibrium. These are highly developed, closely pressed organ. These are the statocysts. This see when you will observe the close look of the cerebral ganglion, optic ganglion is there. Then here your statocyst is there. So this statocyst is maintaining the equilibrium to the body of the animal, and it is separated by a median cartilaginous septum into the posterior portion. Here is your cranial cartilage. So above the cranial cartilage, here you will be finding a proper septum is there. This particular region is covered with the cranium, and there you will be finding a membrane, and this you will be observing very close to the pleurovisceral ganglia. Now, what is the function of this statocyst? Exactly, when you will dissect the animal, statocyst looks like this only. Proper this particular diagram, they lie in the cranial cartilage close to the pleurovisceral ganglia. A statocyst is a round sac about 3 millimeter in diameter. These are the region. The inner surface is lined with the flattened epithelium, and it is thrown into a number of round pear shaped elevations like this. You will observe the elevations on the posterior surface of a rich crista statistica. Macula statistica is present. There are composed of large cells with hair-like process on the surface, and they are continuous fiber with the static nerve. Large statolith is attached to the macula that is present into the cavity. This statolith is the inner part mass which is present into the statocyst. Then olfactory organ, olfactory pits are present behind the eye. These pits are lined with the ciliated cell, among which there are numerous narrow sensory cells. There are later connected, and they are bases with the olfactory nerves. Sensory cells connected to the nerve fiber form a smaller ganglion close to the optic ganglion, and that ganglion is called as the olfactory ganglion. And this olfactory ganglion is related to the sense of smell. Then gustatory organ, that gustatory means it's related to the taste. So the organ of taste, tongue, is a small elevation on the buccal floor just front of the odontophore. It is covered with the papillae, and it is thought to be an organ of taste. So this is all about the animal sapia, type study sapia. Next lecture onwards, we will be talking about the fishery biology.